Hi, this is Anna London with Cyvergence, and in this episode, we're going to be talking about, some virtual internship sites for students, how to actually tap into internships, all right? So I've been offering internships as part of our program offering, but we're going to actually slide into more an apprenticeship offering role, apprenticeship, credentialing programs, and of course, courses, right? So we're a managed security service provider and of course an education provider. And we've been offering internships, but we're going to slide into the apprenticeship program role because again, it's hands-on experience, but also there's still that training involved. And a lot of students that are coming out of colleges and universities, there's huge gaps in even the fundamental learning objectives for cybersecurity. And so we're going to tackle both of those through a one-year apprenticeship program. We're going to be targeting, of course, veterans, right, predominantly, and we're getting approved for Montgomery GI Bill, right, support, so look to that to happen, but that's where we're sliding into. But I didn't want to leave out, right, opportunities for internships. We're currently hosting an internship right now. This will be the last one of the year and the last one that we will probably offer for a great deal of time because, like I was mentioning, we're actually segueing over into more of an apprenticeship mode, and that funding will come from Montgomery GI Bill and, of course, grant funding, okay? So we'll be able to open it up again to veterans and, of course, others that actually qualify for that. But again, on the internship front, I definitely want to refer students that are looking for internships, right, for ongoing support. Look, if there's one thing that can define the post-pandemic, basically our new normal, it is remote work, right? Everybody's sliding back into the hybrid and in-person roles. But, as full-time and part-time employers, have retreated both, hybrid, I'd say in-person and, of course, remote. I know there's a lot of interns, or a lot of students, though, that want the remote option. But I'm actually going to recommend for you, especially in cybersecurity, there's nothing like an in-person option, honestly. A lot of folks don't want to relocate, right? But for a good job, why not? I've relocated several times in my career, whether it be through military orders or, of course, relocating. I've relocated and expanded here to Anchorage, Alaska from Falls Church, Virginia. So you've just got to be willing to be comfortable with the uncomfortable and take that jump, right, into a role. A lot of folks just want to sit back and have the jobs come to them. It doesn't work like that. And with internships, and employer opportunities, right, there's over 1 million opportunities out there in cyber, but they transcend entry level, mid-level, senior level, right? Let's be real. And I know they're promoting, 3 to 5 years experience. Well, there's a reason why, right? So a lot of folks that are coming out of these university certificate programs and university programs altogether are just not coming stacked and loaded with the hands-on knowledge outside of the academic element, right, to actually be of value to employers, right? So that's a bridge we're filling the gap for. But again, we're going to be doing the apprenticeship front. But for those of you that are dead set on internships, and some of the college programs do require internships to graduate. So that's why I am hosting this podcast right now, right? Many companies offer virtual internships, okay? This way university students don't miss out on the opportunity to gain experience, work experience, to prepare them for the job market, right? A lot of students also want that quick pathway to success. Oh, I took a Udemy course. I took a Coursera course. I'm, the top 1% and try Hackney. Nobody cares. Those are quick and dirty courses, honestly, that, it's a quick, a lot of these programs are more either study and dump for certificate, right, boot camp driven stuff, or boot camps, a quick thing, they just get your money, right? But they're not really offering much other than, it's just like a quick class because everybody thinks that they're gonna be experts after 6 months in cyber. It doesn't work like that. Cybersecurity is a multifaceted approach to learning that spans, firmware, BIOS, the system security, the network infrastructure, cross-domain solutions, KG encryptors, right? DNS, Active Directory infrastructure, all of that. It's a lot, folks. Application security. It's not just a lot of folks when I tell people I do cybersecurity, a lot of people, oh, I must be like Best Buy, Geek Squad or something. It's not like that. I think cybersecurity in itself is a thankless job. A lot of people, even employers, think that, oh, it's super easy. I can just employ a VPN, or like when you talk to people about cybersecurity, a lot of folks, oh, I already, passwords, I got that on lock, right? I have a password, folder I keep my passwords in. And then, of course, I do, VPNs and things like that. Yeah, okay, but that's not enough. It's a multi-pronged approach at multiple levels, right? And so there's a great breadth of subject matter expertise that goes along with that, right? Even encryption, the type of encryption, AES 256, yes, but then even the type of encryption needs to be FIPS 140-2, validated and certified, right? AES 256, yes, but FIPS 140-2, that comes from the NIST site, right? And there's a lot of products that will boast the capability, but it's up to you then to go do the research, the security impact analyses, right? So anyways, it is a access control, remote authentication, audit log review and analyses, right? Running scans, but also interpreting those reports, those results, right? In order to provide robust recommendations to fix the finding, not even on a systemic level, like do a root cause analysis to fix it, right? A lot of these hacks, these intrusions, these breaches, it's like it's really perplexing to me because a lot of folks, it's like become the comment, oh, it's just going to happen. No, it shouldn't happen. And here's why, because there's a lot of ways, if you have the subject matter expertise on staff and people aren't sleeping on the job, they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, there's a lot of configuration settings we can put in place at various levels to actually thwart these attacks. What's going on is that folks are becoming complacent, or they get niched into a certain area of expertise, but not a broad area of expertise. And so people are missing gaps, right? Penetration testing's good, but penetration testing also is snapshot in time. Audits are good, but those are snapshot in time, right? In my organization, we've implemented, an ongoing continuous risk assessment methodology, whereby we were continually looking at identifying risk, right? Discussing on how we can, prioritize and of course remediate, right, that risk, right, mitigate that risk. Incredibly important. Okay, and again, a lot of students that are coming out of these college environments are just not even learning this because they're not even stigging machines. I mean, they're not doing anything actionable other than setting up a GitHub library, playing an Oracle VirtualBox, spinning up, of course, a VM, but that's, maybe playing in the AWS, console environment for a minute, but learning a little bit about IAM and the S3 buckets, but it's really not to the level that it needs to be. They're not even learning about mobile security, even GRC, right? It's just a brief couple slides about, this HIPAA, no GDPR, no all this stuff, but not to the level it needs to be of value to employers. Okay, so that's the difference in my programs, because I'm just tired of seeing just, inept curriculum being put out there. And I know because I was a professor at that level, so at these universities, so I know what's in that curriculum and I absolutely know what's not. And so, that's the unfortunate part, is a lot of folks have become a certificate mill where, a lot of folks will offer even free programs and, and things. But, look, becoming a subject matter expert is going to happen over time. It doesn't happen, overnight. Okay. So, but look, I'm going to talk about some websites that offer virtual internship programs for students. And the best part about this is that it's all free. Okay. It's all free. So one of them is Forage, right? Forage, previously known as Inside Sherpa. Okay. Forage is one of, the top virtual internship websites for university students. Okay, the website works with Fortune 500 companies to offer students free remote internships anytime, anywhere, regardless of a student visa or work status. Okay, Forage also offers virtual internships in a wide range of industries, including accounting, investment banking, consulting, engineering, software development, and so on, right? Variety. And, there's lots of renowned multinational companies actually that are on the Forage website, including JP Morgan, Deloitte, Accenture, Microsoft, and of course, Citibank. Okay, so they're actually pretty well endowed as far as that database is concerned. So check it out, Forage, Forage, Forage. All you have to do really is create an account with your email, and you can enroll yourself in the internship programs right away. Okay, you'll be given real life work examples, some samples, and at the end of each task, you're given the opportunity to self-assess your own work. So it's actually pretty decent, right? After completing the virtual internships, you'll also then add the experience to your CV, your resume and LinkedIn profile to boost your employability, right? Which is actually super cool, right? Especially for students that are looking for an internship, a quick internship, because there's a lot of competition out there. A lot of internship programs are only offering 10 to 20, folks at a time because it's highly competitive. And also because of that, right, their paid internships are few and far between. Okay, they just are, right? And so this is one that, of course, it is unpaid, but there's ability to slide in work experience to actually maybe at the end of the internship, roll over and slide into a full-time paid role, right? It's also called Practicum Digital. So next generation tech skills are, of course, in demand, right? We know this, right? STEM, STEAM, cyber, right? It's huge. So if you're a student in STEM, your future ahead is hugely bright, right? Practicum Digital is a virtual internship program that partners with professionals in Silicon Valley to provide 8-week programs for students interested in the tech industry. There's internships in UI, UX, product design, data analytics, cryptocurrency, blockchain, iOS and Android app design, right? Practicum Digital will likely have a place for your ideal field in tech, right? Applying for Practicum Digital is easy. Interested applicants have to first create an account with their email address. Then you build a personal profile. And based upon your skills, you'll be assigned to a group of 12 interns under the supervision of a mentor from Silicon Valley, New York, or somewhere around the world, okay? Now, there's also Google internships, or Internship Plus, right? Business, engineering, and technology, and several others. Securing an internship at Google is, of course, a dream for many. And now you can easily access the company's internship programs through Internships Plus. It's a new initiative for enthusiastic interns who aspire to make a change with Google. Internship Plus doesn't just offer opportunities in tech. If you like to work in business or marketing side of tech, also there are internship positions in sales and people operations as well. And the internships are available in the US and other major cities around the world, including London, Paris, Seoul, Korea, and Zurich, Switzerland. As Google announced that its internships are staying virtual, okay, for the most part, but some of them are sliding into, more of an in-person role. So look, if you get accepted, you have to be willing to also travel to these places as well, right? So, you can probably apply to as many positions as you like too. So you don't have to just apply at one, apply at many, right, within Google. They're awesome like that. And if you'd like to challenge yourself further, Internships Plus also has annual global coding competitions where STEM students can work their way to the world finals, which is actually super cool. The fourth element is work as a startup. So then how do you do that, right? So you can apply to top YC, combinator startups with a single profile. So some students prefer to gain experience in a startup company before moving on to work under a large corporation. Okay, and that's why work at a startup is here to meet the demands of demographics. So work at a startup is what it's called, okay? And you can apply to a lot of the top YC startup jobs there as well. The application process is fairly simple compared to many others on that list that we discussed today. You just fill in one single application form and the website will match you with the right startup companies based on your skills and background. Right? However, if you are interested in virtually interning for a specific company on the website, you can apply directly as well. With remote work quickly becoming the norm in many places, but of course sliding back into, the hybrid and in-person realm, work at a startup, that's what it's called, right, is growing in popularity among university graduates seeking virtual internships, right, as well as in person. So if you're looking for virtual internships in marketing, full stack engineering, business development, or even biotech, check out Work at a Startup, right? Super cool website, super cool database. Honestly, it's real easy. You go in because I've tested all these things. That's what I've gone through because I was looking at ways now that this is our last internship we're offering, and we may, offer some in the future, but they won't be as large. Our spring internship, we had 683 applicants. We accepted 270, 103 graduated from the program. That was our spring internship. Our fall or autumn internship, we only accepted 50 this time, right? 50. So, which is still large, right? Because the average internship programs are only 10 to 20, okay? So, it does take a village to manage these programs, but that's why we're sliding into more an apprenticeship kind of realm. Because again, I want to bolster the foundational knowledge, right? Of GRC, of defensive mechanism, of offensive mechanisms, right? And a variety of roles, hands-on modernized systems and applications, right? But applying them in a real world setting, okay? And so again, that's why I want to do the apprenticeship, because it's both learning, right? A lot of folks are coming out of these universities just don't have the foundational knowledge. It's super scary, actually, especially in the cybersecurity realm. And employers are having to then stand up training programs anyways because they don't feel confident enough, right, with the quality of folks that are coming out of these universities. Right, it's actually very scary because all they know is academic. They know kind of theory, and the only practice they know, honestly, is in like Oracle VirtualBox, an emulated environment, right? And again, cybersecurity is a huge umbrella of knowledge that needs to be gleaned, and you can't just do that from a Udemy or a Coursera course. Sorry, it doesn't work like that, right? So it's just very scary in that way. And then of course you need the credentials too, the A+, the security plus, right? The CISPs, right? Those types of things too in order to get hired as well. But the time and service, right? The time, it just takes time, and you can't replace that, right? And certifications don't replace knowledge either. A lot of folks are getting certifications and it's like, we're claimed to be experts. No, you're not yet. You got to put in the time, okay? Because it just takes time of applicability, right, and implementation ability, right, at a variety of different topologies and networks and technology, right, in order for you actually to become a subject matter expert. And nobody ever knows everything anyways. You're always learning in cyber and tech, right? So you have to put your ego aside, but you're not an expert out of 6 months of training. Sorry, it doesn't work like that. A lot of these boot camps, even those 10-month boot camps, I mean, come on, really? And a lot of folks can't even answer basic questions when they come out of there, right? It's actually very embarrassing, And so again, our program that I actually, developed myself, okay? I'm a licensed professor, right? So, but again, I know what's missing. And so I bolstered it because I always found myself augmenting the curriculum anyways that I was teaching, the labs and everything, right? But, you get real world stuff, right? And applicability and things and basically role-based stuff. Like as a SOC analyst, right? End of shift reports, reviewing audit logs and taking action, instant response, right? Not just the theory and just case studies, but real actionable managed services that we provide that become part of your learning experience, right? To include GRC, the governance, risk, and compliance component. Because, even as a pen tester, everybody wants to do penetration testing or ethical hacking, but how are you going to know how to even provide a report of findings, recommendations, and alternatives if you don't even know, right, what, GRC mechanism is, behind the data type in which you're protecting, right? Or which that client that you're supporting is protecting, right? Whether it be HIPAA or, GDPR or whatever it is, right? And there's different technology and different requirements, right? And so, again, you need to know GRC no matter who you are, but it's a multi-pronged approach. People just don't get that. Yeah, I'm a cybersecurity expert, right? Yeah, but how long have you been in the business? Oh, 6 months. You're by far, not a cybersecurity expert. That takes time, right? So it just takes time. That exposure to a lot of the technologies, topologies, right? Problems also in solutions, right? Because there's no cookie cutter solution even for clients, like supporting Department of State, for instance, different environment, that different people, processes, and technology. Vice, let's just say, supporting the FBI, for instance, right? It's night and day different. GRC requirements, also, are a little bit different, but the underlying support mechanisms, whatever, you need to at least have the foundational knowledge in order to even be of value. And I'm finding a lot of folks that are coming out of these university programs are just not. They just can't even answer basic questions, okay? String together an analysis by which it provides value to an employer, right? To help mitigate risk. That's our purpose in life for cybersecurity, is to protect the data, processed, stored, transmitted. So let's go back to internships, right? Because I did go off on a tangent a bit, but I'm very passionate at this because, I want to make sure people can actually do the job, okay? You want to get the most out of these virtual internship sites, right? So virtual internships are definitely a great way, for you to gain real workplace experience, even if you are at home. But remember, before applying on any of these websites, make sure that you have your resume and cover letter updated, right? Make sure it's on point, okay? A lot of folks also coming out of colleges, they're giving them like a one-page resume, right? Template. So let's talk about that for a moment, because I'm going to talk about some good resume review websites to help you update your resume. Now, if you come through our programs at Cyvergence.ai, then that's part of the package, right? You get career and job assistance, resume assistance, all that, mock interviews and everything else. But for folks that don't, again, I still want to give you guys, access to knowledge, right? And resources, right? So let's talk about there's 6 of them we're going to talk about today, some resume review websites to help you update your resume. Look, your resume can make or break your job search and whether or not you get approved for an internship program, okay? So, using one of these resume review sites can definitely improve your chances of landing a job. And so in my review of actually looking out, again, I do a lot of these reviews so that you don't have to, right? I know a lot of folks are just basically memeing it, or they look at a meme, or they look at Twitter, for instance, for news or whatever, or X now or whatever, or just bylines on mainstream media, right? And similarly, that's how a lot of people just get their information. A lot of folks aren't doing due diligence, even on employers. If you submit your resume to an employer, make sure there's somebody you even want to work for. Do the research, right? And same thing, when you create a resume, it's always a good idea to get a second opinion, and a third and fourth. Having a professional look at your resume before sending your job application, right, can prevent you from making a detrimental mistake, right? The last thing you want is a typo-filled resume that costs you an interview, or doesn't represent the best of you, right? Look, if you don't trust your friends or family members' proofreading ability, you can always turn to the online community or professional resume reviewers, right? Or even us, again, if you go through our programs, that's just becomes part of the program package. You can send your resume to several of these sites and hopefully land your dream job, right? So one of them is Zip Job Resume Review, okay? You'll get a free resume review within 48 hours. Zip Job provides you with an in-depth resume checking tool that can benefit your job search. And you can start by just uploading a resume to the site, right? You enter your email address and submit your resume. Super simple. And in the next 48 hours, you'll get a reply from a resume expert who has fully reviewed your resume. All of the Zip Jobs experts are certified through the Professional Association of Resume Writers and Career Coaches. So you can expect a trustworthy review, right? These are more HR people though, right? So again, if you're looking for cyber tech, right, definitely run it through with somebody that's in that industry, right? Because we're gonna know what people are looking for, right, too. So make sure also, but this is good anyways. It's a really good reference for you. The reviewer at ZipJob will provide feedback on your resume's design, formatting, as well as the presentation. And ZipJob will also run your resume through the ATS, which is the applicant tracking system that most employers use to filter out job candidates. So to make this tool even better, it's completely free, right? Which is awesome. It's super easy, folks, to just set it up and submit your resume. You wait about 48 hours, you get a response back. Super cool. The second referral I'm going to give you is to Job Scan, okay? And basically what's super cool is, in case you don't have the time to wait for a real life reviewer to look at your resume, you can always use JobScan's AI-powered tool. JobScan will analyze your resume and show you how you can improve it. When you access JobScan's tool, you'll notice 2 boxes, okay? One's for your resume, and the other is for a job description. And after you paste or basically upload your resume, you'll have to paste the description, though, of the job you're applying for, okay? So you got to do that. Hit the scan, and JobScan will present you with a detailed report in a matter of seconds, which is awesome. And here then, you'll see if your resume matches up to the job description you entered and whether it can make it past that ATS. Unfortunately, the free version of JobScan limits the number of times you can use certain features like the job match rate and keyword comparison tool, but it's still worth trying, right? So it's actually super cool. The third referral I'm going to give you is Top Resume Review, okay? So not only does Top Resume offer paid resume writing services, but it also features a free resume review tool. And after uploading your resume to the site, you can expect a reply within 48 hours. Top Resume's experts will then read through your resume and highlight the portions that you need to improve on. And in addition to getting constructive criticism on your resume's design, organization, mechanics, and writing, you'll also see how well your resume did in the ATS as well. So remember, these are databases that actually basically rule out your resume, right? So they'll put you in the no pile, vice the yes pile, right? That said, it doesn't hurt to submit your resume to Top Resume, okay? Because if you're feeling frustrated with the number of errors that your resume racks up, you might want to consider starting over and rebuilding your resume on a free resume maker, okay? And again, we have actually resume templates, both for commercial and federal, right? Have a whole thing for cover letters and all that stuff. So if you come through our programs, we have all that stuff for you, and it's tried and true templates that actually work in your benefit. How to explain against, gaps in resumes and things like that, how to actually properly position and represent that on your resume, right? Because that ends up being a disqualifier as well, right? If somebody sees a gap in your chronological resume, right, within your jobs, no matter if it was taking off for family or whatever, they're not going to know the why. They just see a gap and it looks like a red flag to folks. And so a lot of folks will put that in the no pile, right? So anyways, we have ways to actually, get around that and represent yourself in the best light, right? Honest and best light. So number 4 is Resume Worded, okay? So Resume Worded is one of the best resume review sites on the web right now. Once you get past the hassle of signing up for the website, right, because it's a little bit cumbersome there, but then you can finally upload your resume. As soon as you upload your file, you'll see a page of changes that you should make to your resume. So it'll be like resume templates, resume builder, resume maker, right? Resume Worded scores your resume from 0 to 100, with 100 being the perfect resume. At the top of the page, you'll see how your resume ranks in 4 different categories: impact, brevity, style, and skills. And then you can mouse over any of those areas, and it'll display helpful hints on how to improve your score in each category, which is actually super cool. And when you scroll down the page, you'll see the top 3 changes that you need to make to your resume. If you want to see even more specific advice, Resume Worded provides you with a line-by-line analyses, right? Several helpful features are available with Resume Worded's free plan, but you'll have to upgrade to the pro version, of course, to get full access to the site's tools. Now let's talk about Res Score, R-E-Z as in Zulu score, right? So for a quick reality check on your resume, right, you need to upload it to ResScore's review service, okay? This site will flat out tell you if your resume desperately needs help, okay? It's not the most thorough of the tools that we mentioned today, but it definitely can give you an idea of where you've gone wrong, right? Upon uploading your resume, ResScore will provide you with a very honest score of A through F, as in Foxtrot. You're going to click the resume tab at the top of the screen to see how your resume ranks in brevity, depth, and impact. And ResScore will also give you some pointers on exactly what needs fixing. In case the site-generated review isn't specific enough for you, you can hit the Get a Human Review button. And with that tool, you can just submit your resume to the ResScore community and get some feedback from real people, right? Which is a really good option, actually, there. The 6th and final that we're going to discuss today are Ladder's Resume Reviewer. Ladders as an Ladders resume reviewer, okay? And unlike most popular job search engines out there, okay, because there's a lot, right? We know that. Ladders focuses basically on high-paying jobs. However, it does much more than track down 6-figure opportunities. If you head to Ladder's free resume review tool, you can also upload your resume there for an instant review. And while you have to sign up for an account to get access to the review, the insight you receive is worth it, right? It is. On the resume review page, Ladders will let you know what you did well, what you could do better as well. Any red block in the left-hand column then will signal something that you need to add or improve on. And you need to click on those boxes then to expand them. You'll see a detailed explanation of how exactly you should fix your resume. And Ladders will provide you with a list of recommended jobs based on the contents of your resume, but you'll have to pay for premium account, of course, to get the most out of the site's search tool, right? So using one of these resume review sites will only improve your chances of landing a job. Having a second pair of eyes or a computer, right, AI, right, read your resume can actually help you recognize and fix your mistakes, right? if you need more help in creating a noteworthy resume, okay, these top resume builder sites can definitely help you create a resume that actually gets read, okay, and puts in the yes file, right? The yes pile, not the no pile, right? So if you're not getting any feedback, right, if you're not getting any responses, if your resume keeps going into the ether, basically, and you're wondering why, right, then definitely get a second and third look, right? Use some of these references that we provided today in this podcast for you, right? So today we covered, just as a summary, right, we covered some internship programs, some internship databases that actually can help you get matched with some internship employers, right? Some are paid, some are not paid. But again, it's resume builder experience nonetheless, right? If you're entry level and really looking to get in the industry, many times you just have to volunteer for stuff, right? To just learn, go out to your local mom and pop shops or National Tire and Battery or whoever, right? To kind of help out and say, look, like to volunteer my time, right? They need to validate though who you are. So it's not social engineering or something, right? Getting admin access to their environments. Of course, they're going to try to validate who you are. So provide, your credentials. And if you're a student, then, be prepared to show your student ID card and say, look, I'm going through a cybersecurity curriculum right now. I'd love to volunteer my time, at least for 60 or 90 days, right here to help you mitigate risk or even shadow your IT or cyber team, right? And if you like what I do, then, if you're able to hire me, great. If not, because many times it's budget, right? It's not in the budget. Is that if you could at least give me a letter of recommendation, that would be great that I could use for a future employer, right? And that'll help you bolster your resume, even with resume builder experience, okay? Nobody's going to hire you after 3 months or 6 months. I mean, put yourself in the employer's shoes. It's like, oh, I just took a Udemy course. Now I'm an expert. No, you're not. Come on, let's be real here. If you put yourself in the employer's shoes, would you hire yourself or a person that only had 3 months or 6 months? That's like even going through a cashier job. A lot of folks aren't going to hire you straight off the street, right? What kind of experience you have even being a cashier or in retail or in sales, right? So the first thing employers are going to ask you is, okay, great, you have a degree, or okay, great, you have a certificate. Okay, great, you took a Udemy or a Coursera course, but what kinds of hands-on experience do you have at a national employer, right? So, you need to put yourself in their shoes. Internships and apprenticeships are a great way to do that, okay? So, again, I hope this has been helpful for you, okay? I'll post some others, of course. I know it's been a while since I did my last podcast, but I definitely want to provide resources for you, right? I've kind of pivoted a little bit, of course, in my own business also to offer, the 1-year apprenticeship program. I think that's really the most value. And getting the feedback from customers and students and employers or what have you, even looking at the curriculum, the syllabus, right? It's on point, honestly. And it gives real value, like hands-on experience that is instantly real-time transferable on the job, okay? And you're getting taught by people like myself with actual hands-on experience, 30 years to be exact, right? In military, Department of Defense, right? Government and commercial industry alike, right? Hands-on being a sysadmin, application developer, right? Network administrator, right? So, definitely got the experience, and I've got a team also to help you in that regard. So definitely check us out. And you can just, again, do compare and contrast, right? I even have a compare and contrast of at least 3 on my website, but I'll do actually more because I know there's some cybersecurity programs out there. It's like, okay, which one do you choose? Okay, well, you look at the difference, right? Look at the difference. Compare and contrast it, right? Do your own due diligence, and if you still have questions, just ping us, right? All it takes is a call or an intro discovery call, where we'll get on either the phone with you or on a MS Teams with you, right? And we'll talk about what your interests are, what your goals are, and help align you in the right program, whether that's one with us or maybe somebody else, right? Like these internships I mentioned here, right, today, right? So anyways, I hope this was helpful for you. Congratulations, by the way, on our last and final internship, candidates that got accepted right into our program. It's our last and final one. We kicked it off actually on Friday, and definitely look forward to being part of their journey, right? I think they're going to great. We actually did interviews and a strong actually vetting process. We actually chose some really good candidates for the autumn internship program, and so I look forward to seeing what they can do. And again, just being part of their journey, right? But again, that'll be our final one, folks. So a lot of you are asking for internships. I just provided you some references, okay? And then again, if you're interested in apprenticeships, especially if you're a veteran or a homeless veteran, right, where you tap into the Montgomery GI Bill programs and things like that, so that it doesn't come out of your pocket, right? It comes out of an area that, can actually fund. And then we're looking at grants too, right? So that, can fund, folks in underserved communities and things like that get the education that they need, the quality education, so you can actually do the job, right? Once you get hired into an employer, once you get, that you can actually do the job, you can perform the job, right? So again, this is Anna London with Cyvergence, okay? I'll put our website in the comments section. You're more than welcome to check us out. Look, subscribe, subscribe to these podcasts. There's a whole litany of resources, of course, and a multitude of the podcasts that I've done over this past year. And I just hope they provide value to you. A lot of them are edutainment and reference and sources, right? There's one on imposter syndrome and how to overcome that. There's one on, women in the workforce and IT and cyber, right? There's lots of them. I even did a compare and contrast between Mac and Windows, right? I even talked about the metaverse, the omniverse, and stuff like that too. I talked about a lot of that stuff. So just go back and scroll through. I'm on Podbean and Spotify, right? So for any of you that are interested, like I said, just listen, subscribe so that you don't miss out on, when I do go live or when I do post another podcast. And again, feel free to ping us, ping us if you need us, right? So I tell my students, interns, everyone all the time, and be more than happy to, again, just set up an intro discovery call with you and identify what program or service is right for you, okay? Because it is all about your goals and objectives, but a lot of times people they think they want to do something, but they don't even know how to get there. We can help you with that too. We can help you map out a plan for that, right, and get you in the right program or course, right, to meet that need, right? That's what we do, okay? So with that said, don't hesitate to ping us, right, if you need us. We're here. Again, this is Anna London, Cyvergence.ai, signing out.